What's going on with USAID?
More fraud revealed at USAID last month. Roderick Watson, a former federal contracting officer, pled guilty to taking over $1 million in bribes while working at USAID and funneling contracts to two consulting firms. The scheme, spanning a decade, involved $550 million in federal contracts through a Small Business Administration program. The New York Post writing, quote, the USAID official received cash, laptops, thousands of dollars in tickets to a suite at an NBA game, a country club wedding, down payments on 2 residential mortgages, cellular phones, and jobs for relatives from the 3 businessmen as part of this scheme. Joining me now is Small Business Administrator Kelly Loeffler. Kelly, good morning. What action is the SBA going to take in response to this investigation? And also, what happens to these contracts?
Well, good morning, Cheryl. Great to be with you. Look, the President Trump administration has a zero tolerance policy on fraud and corruption in federal government. So we're going after them. When we saw the DOJ prosecute $550 million in a fraudulent bribery scheme, we said we need a 15-year look back audit on everything in federal contracting for small businesses. That's what we're doing right now. We have a 15-year retroactive audit ongoing right now. But what I'm announcing today on your show, Cheryl, is the fact that we have now rescinded the independent contracting authority of USAID because they operate a massive federal government contracting program. And so they can no longer oversee their government contracting for small businesses. We're standing up to corruption in the Trump administration that was allowed to proliferate under the Biden administration. So we're taking.
What do you know why so many houses hit the market once the Trump administration came into office and they started doing the Department of Government Efficiency? It wasn't because people was being laid off. It's because the people was scared of the Department of Government Efficiency. They were afraid. That is why people in DC, you wonder why all of these houses, and you say, man, how do these people have these regular jobs? You know, just like how they used to be on HGTV. I'm a beekeeper. I'm a flower girl. And we're looking for a house that costs $4 million. Man, these people are finessing. The federal government is ripe with fraud, waste, and abuse. And let me tell you how bad liberals are. They are willing to keep up the system in order to make sure that, oh my God, because it's some flies and some Africans' eyes over there, and we got to make sure that we sent them 50 cents a day. And they're willing to keep up the charade. And it's the same thing when it comes to welfare. It's the same thing when it comes to the healthcare system. The healthcare system, boy, I can't wait till they start to audit the healthcare system. The healthcare system is ripe with fraud. It's ripe with fraud. And I realized that once I started getting my own concierge doctor and whatever, any type of prescription that I got to get, if Rita gets sick or something like that, and then they say, all right, this is how much it's going to cost you, in order to just buy it straight out. And I was like, that don't make no sense. That's less than what it cost me in copays. So wait a minute, if I just buy this thing outright, it costs me less than what I would have to pay in a copay, while at the same time they're still charging the insurance company for whatever it is services going on. And then the people just be looking like this. I can't believe it. I'm like, wait a minute. So I can pay less in this over the counter for no insurance, and it costs me less than what it would have costed me in copays with the insurance, and they're billing the insurance company. Dog, insurance is the biggest scam, K. Cooper. The only type of insurance that I believe is reasonable is life insurance. Like, more people need to get life insurance. But outside of that, if you don't have it if you're getting it through your job, then take advantage of it. But man, I'm telling you, most of these insurance companies, most of this stuff is finesse, bro. All of these systems that is stood up is finessing taxpayers. It is finessing taxpayers. It's taking money out of our pocket and running it up. I was talking to a woman the other day, and I forgot something happened. It was something like, oh, I know what happened. I ran into somebody on the streets, and remember when y'all was telling me yesterday, and y'all said, Anton, what would you do if you ever became governor or you ever became a legislator? I said, my biggest thing would be to drive down costs. And I said, one of the things that I would want to do is try to eliminate taxes, eliminate income taxes, state income taxes. I think that it's an abuse. I think it's fraud. I think that people are over leveraging the federal government. They building it up. If you've ever been in corporate America, for example, right? If you've ever been in corporate America, you know the scams that is happening in corporate America with contractors. What do contractors do in corporate America? I tell you, anytime that you have a contractor there, you know what their job is? Their job is not to complete the job. Their job is to make sure that they can try to get as much billing as they can to whoever it is that they're charging. That is the job of anything in corporate, whether you in a department and you work for the company or whether or not you're actually a contractor. The goal is to increase their bonuses are built. I'm going to teach you something today. Their bonuses are built in based off of how much you can bill the client. Lawyers, they're not looking to get you off. Lawyers are looking to have a great reputation so that they can have a higher rate and billable hours. It is all about billable hours. It is all about how much you can cost the company. It is always about what you can make sure if you get a contract, you're never incentivized to be under budget. You know why? You're incentivized as a contractor to either be right there at the budget, so we got to make sure that we hire as many people as we can so we can bill them, and that is how you then generate a lot of revenue inside of your company that you are using in order to get this federal contract, to get this local contract, all of that. Every single thing that happens in the majority of corporate America, even the ones that actually work for the company, the departments, how they structure their budget, and this is how you know that a company is too big. They structure their budgets based off of how much they can bill. When you get into these systems, and do you know, you a salary worker, but you got to bill to a specific project or whatever, they allocate budgets to these projects. That's how you're able to get your funding in your department. Your boss is not there to oversee you as a worker. This is the common misconception of what y'all really think happens in corporate America. And this is the uncovering of what goes on when you get to the executive ranks. Your boss is not there to micromanage you. Your boss is not there to give you direction. Your boss is not there to give you anything to help you do your job better. Your boss is there as a lobbyist. Your boss is a figurehead. They are the same things that happen inside of the federal government. They're lobbying for more dollars for their department in order to ensure that they keep people working. That is the job of most of the bosses inside of corporate America. They are lobbying. They're going to their boss, and then they're pitching this project, and then they're trying to get this date so that they can say, okay, so listen, they're going to take what y'all looked at and what project y'all built to. Your pay is going to be the same, but you got to build to a specific project. We need to build 8 hours to this today. We need to be 8 hours to that project. Hey, bill it to this project so that they can come through with the spreadsheet and they say, hey, listen, this is how many billable hours we use for this project. It's going to take this resource. We're going to need a scrum master. We're going to need 2 project managers. We're going to need this. We're going to need that. And you know what y'all do in those meetings? Y'all don't talk about nothing. They don't talk about anything. Oh, this lug nut, we're going to have to go and call somebody because that's not in the job description. It's going to cost them $20,000 in order to get this project off the ground with the luck nut. When you learn the game, it's easier to navigate it, and that's how people make the money. This is what women don't understand, and this is what I used to tell them in the coaching calls. Your job is not to do a great job. Your job is to be reasonable in how you work and to make people like you and to learn the game. The game is learning how to get billable hours and how to make other people rich. The game is trying to figure out how you can make your boss look good and add value into the company. The game is to be likable. And so while y'all out there fighting, talking about your hair in corporate America, oh my God, I got laid off. You're not playing the same game as everybody else. And it's the same game in government contracts and politics. It's the same game when it comes to corporate America. It's the same game when it comes to small business. Why do you think that people care so much about who gets into office in local politics? I can teach you because I've been there. I've done it. I've been in the room. It's about billable hours. It has nothing to do with anything else. If you're a lawyer, it's billable hours. If you are in corporate America, it's billable hours. It's making sure that we can structure the project to make sure that you're billing to the right project. That's it. That's all it is. And being a likable person and a cultural fit, you will go far. You will go far. You keep on thinking that it's all about how hard I work. And oh my God, I've been typing all day and all of that. Nobody care nothing about that. You're not going nowhere. You're going to be in that same position complaining about the fact that you have no upward mobility because you don't have a coach like Anton from AntonDaniels.com to break it down and help you go every single day and help you to get that promotion. And Anton going to come through and I'm going to show you how to negotiate your pay range. I'm going to show you how to get the equity into the company. I'm going to show you how to take less money up front, more money on the back end, and we're going to leverage that back end in order to run up a bigger bag because you'll get a lower interest rate and you're going to be able to limit the amount of money that you have to pay in taxes. That's the game. And because black people and white people and people that are in the middle, they don't know the game. And so that's why the rich get richer and the poor get poor, because you don't have access to the information and you keep on buying courses and you keep on going to networking events and you keep on doing this and you keep on doing that. You playing the wrong game. You in the wrong game. You in the wrong building. We teach each other how to be workers. We teach each other how to do this. We don't teach each other how to leverage and get the information and how you use it more effectively. You want to know why it's such a big pay gap between you and your coworkers? Because you don't know the game. You in the wrong game, baby. You in the wrong, you short-sighted. You short-sighted. You in the wrong game. I mean, you can get mad at me and you can sit there and say, oh, Anton, I don't like this. Anton, I don't want. Listen, you want to win and get rich, or you want to just sit there and talk? Because I shouldn't even be telling you this much. This is stuff that I need to be reserving for what I talk to my bag chasers. This is what we really talk about. These are the type of conversations that we deep dive into. When we get past the dick and the pussy conversations and we do these live streams inside of the bag chasers and we do Q&As, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to give you a real life snapshot and picture, and then you got to apply it to your circumstance and your situation. You don't want to play. You don't want to play the right game. You too busy trying to be tough. You don't want to use your pretty privilege. You don't want to show just a little bit of cleavage because you think that you going to get promoted because you just a hard worker. No, you're not. You're not. And you're going to be poor and you're going to be broke and you're going to keep on complaining about your situation. You in the wrong game. You in the wrong game and don't even know what you're doing. You a fool. You a fool. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Back that authority at the SBA, and we're looking across all federal agencies to restore confidence in this program.
Well, this, of course, amid the complete dismantling of the USAID program. I mean, that was one of the very first targets of DOGE. So thank you for letting us know and breaking that news here on our show. We certainly appreciate that. 15 years. Going back, that's quite an audit. If you're an accountant, Kelly, how long do you think that's going to take?
Well, Cheryl, the important thing to know about this program is we're going agency by agency, but we're moving quickly. We have to hold people accountable who are bad actors, who are taking opportunities from small businesses and taking taxpayer dollars for criminally corrupt activities that the American people suspect are out there, but no one has ever held them accountable.
Y'all know why Diddy got prosecuted? Y'all know why Diddy got prosecuted? Y'all don't really know why Diddy got prosecuted. You think that they really gave a damn about Cassie, huh? You think that they really cared about the Punisher. Y'all thought that Diddy was on trial for RICO? Do you really believe? I'm going to give you the game. Diddy wasn't on trial for a RICO. Diddy was on trial for additional funding for the department that was prosecuting him. Diddy was on trial for funding for Homeland Security. You think, y'all really think, while they keep you entertained and while you sit there and argue, you think that Diddy was on trial for a RICO that they had no evidence on? You thought that they found something other than baby oil? Diddy was on trial for funding. That's it. In order for a department to justify how much money is going to get from the federal government and taxpayers so that they can build the budget, they have to be able to prosecute cases and bring visibility to the people that are famous. You got to land some hard cases, baby. This ain't no different than private corporate. And yes, multiple things can be true at the same time. I do also believe that there's some other factors like him suing Diageo and all of that. But dude, you don't get it, do you? You still don't get it. You still don't get it, do you? You think that this is the same? You think we all playing the same thing? We not playing the same game at all. We not playing the same game. You think that your podcast is going to pop off because, let me stop. Let me be quiet. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.